Morning people, bom dia. Welcome to another episode of Drawing and Exploring with me, Sam Grubb. Today I'm in Montevideo, Uruguay, the capital. I made my way south from Brazil, flew here, sat next to some kid on the flight. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, made it. I've been working for a few days. I've been busy while I've been here, so I've not really had a chance to properly step out and explore. But I've been excited to get here. Don't know much about the country, and I was thinking it'd be fun to come check it out whilst I'm on my way traveling about. So here we are. So far the vibes in Uruguay are good. It seems really cosmopolitan, really metropolitan. It's got a real European feel, which makes sense obviously with the Spanish colonization. A lot of the architecture looks very Spanish, sort of the monuments and the squares and stuff. But then a little bit out the center, I'm kind of getting vibes from, I'm not really sure, I'm thinking either like Bosnia or Romania or something. Certainly looks European. It's got these big kind of Eastern Bloc tall buildings, just like blocks of flats and stuff. And then there's like buses running and normal city stuff that you'd expect to see, but the vibe's giving me a real European feel. It doesn't really feel like anywhere I've been on this side of the globe so far. So excited to have a explore about today. It's not the biggest city in the world. I think there's 1.5 million people live inside the city and 1.8 million people live in the metropolitan area. But yeah, like I said, excited to see. I think I'm gonna whiz round, try see the sights today, get some drawing done, eat something. You lot know the game. So behind me you can see Puerta De La Ciudadela, which is, I think it translates the gateway to the city, which is like the entrance to the square. But yeah, let's talk about Uruguayan history. So it was founded in 1726 by Bruno Mauricio de Zabala, and it was a Spanish military stronghold. In 1830 it became the capital of the newly independent Uruguay, and in the turn of the century till the 1930s it flourished and become a real economic stronghold in this part of the world. And then in the 70s and 80s Uruguay was under military dictatorship. These days it's known for its economic stability, high quality of life and a thriving art scene. I think there's a bunch of different street art stuff to go see. They're big on the murals here, so I'm excited to check it out. There's one there. Yeah, it's gonna be cool, man. Exploring, having a look around. Very European feel. Streets, little avenues lined with cafes and stuff like that. And there's a bunch of like churches and things that were built, government offices and stuff that I guess the architects would have been Spanish, the guys who built those. So hence why it looks like I'm in Spain somewhere. It's cold. Obviously it's winter now in this part of the year. And Uruguay is very south, you know, compared to Brazil. In Brazil it's their winter, but it's still like 26, 27 degrees most days. Here it's been like 13 degrees, it was 11 degrees yesterday, properly freezing, and I've just packed shorts and stuff like that like a stupid gringo. So first experiences in Uruguay. Firstly, like I said, it's super clean, feels super European, really like cosmopolitan, people nipping about doing their thing. And then I had a bit of a shock when I first got here. I first stepped out to go get some food and I'm looking for places and I'm just surprised by the prices. It's insanely expensive, you know, for a little country that's nestled in between Brazil and Argentina. And I'm in the supermarket and I'm like, well, at first I went to go grab food out and it was just too expensive. So I thought, let me go to the supermarket, I'll just cook something. I thought I'll make some gnocchi or something. And I'm looking at putting it together and like simple stuff, like a jar of pasta sauce was £6. What else? 2 chicken breasts in a pack, 500 grams of chicken was £9. Just insane. And then yesterday when I'm nipping about, had to head to the mall and then I've nipped in the McDonald's on the way. I thought, let me just grab a little double cheeseburger just to keep me going. £7.70 for a McDonald's double cheeseburger. And then I'm Googling and I found out that the average national salary here is £8,000 a year. So I genuinely can't understand how people put it together. I'm looking and ChatGPT was saying that people tend to use the local markets, which are cheaper than the supermarkets. But I'm still like, I still can't understand it. You know, imagine you've got kids, a mouse to feed and a car to run and stuff like that. It's just bonkers. I read they've got a 22% import tax, hence why stuff has skyrocketed. So I don't really understand it. I think as well, some of the videos I was looking at on YouTube, people saying that they're a real economic stronghold for where they are in the world and have been for a long time. But I just can't understand those prices. You go to buy like a normal thing. I'm trying to think what else I bought. I bought a chocolate bar and it was like £4. So yeah, I don't really get it. It's interesting. Also I'm realizing that our English 3-pin plug socket and plug head is that's our finest export. Great Britain's crumbled, right? We don't have a great national health service anymore. The roads are rubbish, the schools are rubbish. But one thing that we remain world leaders in is our plug socket. I'm sick to death of plugging stuff in here and it just not charging overnight. I've come here, I've bought an adapter. The adapter's just not charging after a couple of days. Piddly little current coming through. You know, you stick your phone on charge for a couple of hours and you might get like 5%. I woke up and my phone's just on 65% for no reason. It's driving me insane. I really take our plug sockets for granted. So that's one rubbish thing about Uruguay. Same as Brazil, their plug sockets are just a pain. I like the geography of the city because I'm not sure what the name is. Do you know, like a part of land that juts out like the opposite of a bay? Is it called a peninsula? I'm not sure. But either sides of the city sit on the water. So you can kind of walk down, and on one side there's the shipyard and the dockyard, and then there's a huge promenade that goes along the front of like the beach. Some people call it a river because you can get the ferry over to Buenos Aires. They say it's the widest river in the world. But I think river's generous. It doesn't look like a river that I've ever seen. But today I'm hoping I get to that promenade. It's a nice day. It's a little bit windy for cycling, but what you're gonna do, you gotta just seize it. So I'm thinking if I can get down there and jump on a bike, that'll be good fun. Check it, you see what I mean about these blocks? Doesn't that look like some Eastern Bloc, European kind of stuff? But then you turn around and you've got this beautiful like promenade that goes around the edge. This cycle route's 22 kilometers along the coast. And when I was in my Uber earlier, I seen someone on one of those little city bikes that you can rent and scan the QR code. So I'm thinking if I can figure out where they are, find a rack of those, we might be going for a little bike ride. So I looked into the city bikes, turns out there's no city bikes. There were some, but then they got removed because they were all getting robbed and vandalized and stuff. But there's a bike rental place just around here where you can rent a bike for a few hours. And I think the white bike that I seen the dude on earlier, that's what he was riding. So I'm trying to find a place called Orange Bike, which rents white bikes. Surely paint your bikes orange, that makes more sense to me. Nice. You speak English. So you rent the bike inside some little bookshop and the guy said it's cash only, so I've gone and got my cash, 500 Uruguayan pesos. With the fee at the ATM it was like £15. and that's for 24 hours with the bike, so not too bad. I'm thinking I might just, I don't know, I've got to leave here tomorrow, so I don't know whether to bother taking it back to the shop today or to take it back to the crib and drop it back tomorrow morning or something. Don't know, got to figure that one out. But 500. So this is the whip. It's got one brake that just doesn't work at all. He said you can brake by just pedaling backwards like that. No gears. I think it's got a max speed of about 10 miles per hour. But we're going to make it work. Down to the promenade. This bike is so slow, it's barely enjoyable. It's like I'm killing myself pedaling. Might reach 15 miles per hour. So that bike ride was particularly difficult. It's like a, I don't know what the thing's called, the thing that the pedals come off the wheel. It was so small. Hello. And like, and just hard. I'm riding along the front, it's relatively flat, but anytime you come to like a slight hill, it's just effort pedaling up. It was no fun. But now it's time to do some work. I've got a project that I'm working on in Leicester. A guy called Joe Nixon from Arch Creative reached out. Big up Joe. They've done something similar before. There was a project I worked on, I think 2017, something like that, called Vacant Spaces. And the idea was that there's a bunch of empty plots in the city centre, empty shops and stuff like that, and they wanted like artwork to brighten up the windows and to make a bit of an art trail. I've got to contribute my artwork, and then the guys over at Arch Creative, they're going to animate it. So when you scan it, or I think there might be an app that you download or something, you're going to see the artwork come to life. So I met with Joe, and he showed me the place that they proposed that my artwork lives, and we kind of bounced some ideas back and forth, and now it's time to get drawing. So I need to get this artwork done, submit it, and then Joe at the team over at Arch are going to bring it to life. So I'm excited to see that, but it should be good fun. So for now, I need to find a little coffee shop, get in somewhere, get sat down and get drawing. So I'm inside this cool coffee shop. I've got a nice little spread, Coke Zero, water with no gas, and a little chocolate chip cookie. And you know, some coffee shops are just good vibes. They're just chilling. Like, I'll pull out, I'm aware, like I'll rock up with this big massive iPad, set up this tripod and the little GoPro on it, and I'm trying not to make a fuss, but it's a bit much in it. Sometimes if your coffee shop's popping, you don't really want this guy backing out all this equipment or whatever. But some coffee shops are just cool and they're a nice vibe, and the lady was sweet and she's asking like what I was drawing and stuff. So I told her what time it was. Yeah, open streets. It's fun because in real life right now, this project has gone live. It went live like last week, and I'm sat recording this voiceover, editing this video, and just thinking, yeah, it's out there. And it's nice to have, I always appreciate these kind of projects where, did I just say open streets? I mean street stories. I don't know if I said open streets. But yeah, it's nice to have these projects where I feel like I can affect the landscape back home, have stuff installed back home, from all the way over here. So it's good fun. I think when I'm back in Leicester, I'm going to go take a picture of it, go see it. It'll be fun. And big up Joe and the guys. They were super cool. It was exciting sending them the stuff off and then leaving it to them to animate. And I put that in at the very end of the episode. So if you want to watch till the absolute very end, then you're going to see what those guys did with it. Is it cool? It's animated and there's like a voiceover and some little music playing and stuff. And that's the thing where when you're at the site, if you scan the QR code, it's going to take you to a site where you can watch the video. But yeah, so there was 4 panels, and I was thinking it'd be cool to do like some kind of mug shots. The artwork brief, when I spoke to Joe and his team, he was saying like they wanted to focus on the like Leicester street art scene and celebrate that. So I thought, yeah, let me slap a couple monsters on there. And the annoying thing with the project was, out of our hands, the plot changed. So even though Joe sent over these dimensions and it was for 4 panels, it moved to a new site. So we kind of had to reframe them last minute and whatever. But they're still up, they're still live, they're still in the street. So I'm happy with that. I wonder how long they're going to be up for. I actually don't know. The project that I worked on before was up for years and years and years. And it was just like a Posca drawing on this glass window. And it got so tatty as time went on, just all scratched up. Obviously, people kind of scratching their name into it and stuff like that. But it was, I think in terms of like stuff in the city centre, it was one of the longest serving things I had. I think it's gone now. I'll have to check when I'm back. Yeah, I think it's gone. Obviously, got to slap in a Siamese twins one. Little phallic symbolism, this 4 eyes guy, whatever. Getting it done. Procreate stuff. These were fun, you know, like trying to draw a set of them and make them all look alike as well, be consistent with the mark making and the outlines and the shading and stuff like that. I think they're massive as well. This was the annoying thing when I was kind of managing the files and getting them sent over to Joe. The files were just so big, you know, to make sure that they weren't pixelated. And what do I keep getting? These lot crowing about my scratch discs. How boring is that? Anyone with a MacBook knows. Talking about scratch discs. Shut up, man. Leave me alone. What do you have to do? Do you have to get it set up with an external hard drive, so every time you flick your Mac on, your scratch discs automatically route to an external hard drive? Because I feel like not even with big files, my hard drive just gets full, man. You know, the one that's actually inside the MacBook. Bang, it would just be little videos, little bits of this, little bits of that. Before you know it, it's all full up. Where are we going to be? Has there been any big technological advances with that stuff? Because I think about little memory cards that go into cameras and it's kind of mental. You think of like, they probably got more memory than like, I don't know, 10 household computers in 1995. Way more, a million times more. And it's just in a tiny little card. Surely we can do that in MacBooks now, innit? Just give us like, I don't know, 20 terabyte solid state drive as stock in MacBooks. Imagine that. Can you do that? Can these buffs who build their own computers, can you do that? Can you just add like a mental 20 terabytes of solid state drive, or does it not really work like that? Maybe that's the move, you know? Build your own custom machine and then run a Mac OS off it. Wow. You still get like all the easy stuff like airdrop and stuff like that then. Got a buff mate. My mate Joe Ryder knows all this stuff. I reckon if I asked him all these questions, he'd legit have answers. I think he's AI. Maybe I could just ask ChatGPT. Don't want to give him the satisfaction. I don't know, look at this guy, muscly. You know what I'm thinking straight away. Looking at him, I'm like, let me get some tattoos on this guy. So I'll give him his little head, give him his little sprinkles, hundreds and thousands. And then I'm thinking, yeah, let's get into it. Give this guy some ink. Still alive. This is one of the slogans. I've been writing this. Well, I wonder what the first time I put this on something was. Might have been when I did one of the travelling guys in did a drawing of a monster in Athens, I think it was. I think I put still alive as a tattoo. It's funny, it can be kind of tragic. I think the guy who was being what do you call it? The person who was being rode, like the monster that was being ridden or whatever. He looked pretty sad in the drawing I'm on about, so still alive. Not such a great thing for him. This guy's gone for it though, out of office, shout out his mum, skull and crossbones. Inked up. And then here I'm just whizzing between them all, just a bit of continuity, just thinking, yeah, let me add the fur texture here and then figure out a little bit of a background just to tie it together. Like I said, we've got 4 panels. So 2 by 2, there's the first 2, there's the next 2. And then the good guys over at Arch Creative, big shout out to the guys over at Arch Creative, sent me these photos. So we've got a couple of pictures where we can see them in situ, in the street. If you're in Leicester, they're on Beaver Street. Go check them out. Send me a photo, tag me in, whatever. And here's a little snippet of the animation. Like I said, full things at the end of the video, so watch till the end. All right, drawing finished. I'm back outside. It's cold, it's dark. It's like 10 to 7 now. So my Uber's going to turn up. I'm going to jump in the Uber. I think steak's the order of the day. Just looking, it looks like there's a bunch of grills nearby, so I'm going to head to one that I found. Looks pretty nice. Looks like it's got some good stuff on the menu, so excited for that. I'm starving as well. All I've ate is 2 bananas and that empanada, so definitely got an appetite. But we're gonna see. I did the taco tour of Mexico. I think I'm doing the steak tour of South America, so Let's see how Uruguayan steak holds up against Brazilian steak. Hola, buenas noches.
Hola, hola. Sí.
Tanat. Okay, so this wasn't the one that I originally wanted to go to. There was one across the road, but then when I looked at it, it was like super dressy. Everyone in there was really done up, and you know, it's time to drink wine and stuff, and I was a bit rags this day, so I was like, you know what, let me just go across the road. But it was pretty good. Nice little bread basket with these crispy little breadsticks. Steak was chunky, juicy, beautiful. I marked them down for the potatoes because they were clearly just out of a freezer bag. The sausage, if it was piped in house, was fantastic. Nice thick sausage. Even if it wasn't, it was actually a great sausage. And the steak was, yeah, juicy, nice, plentiful. Cutting off these perfect little slivers of it. That's a roasted red pepper getting sat down. So we've got a bit of veggies, a bit of chimichurri on the steak. The potatoes really did let the side down. I'm looking back at this, I remember the steak was incredible. Chimichurri was nice enough. Could always do with a bit more of it. That's what I think when they serve you with these tiny little parts. I guess you can ask, but whatever. Red pepper, roasted, beautiful. Vegans, I feel you on that one. That's a great dish. £33, 63 all in. Chips let them down.
All right, we're done. That wraps up another episode. That was a delicious steak. I started watching this police body cam channel on YouTube. It's more interesting than this, I promise you. And just mad cases. So I'm sat there eating my steak, and I remember the times when I used to film these episodes on my phone, and I'm eating, and I'm one of them people, I need to find something to watch before I eat. And now I'm just watching my police body cam documentaries on YouTube whilst I eat. It's a good time. So that wraps up another episode, guys. Thanks for watching, thanks for tuning in. If you've not already, click subscribe, and I need more subscribers. Let's try and make it happen. And drop a like, drop a comment. If you're watching from somewhere obscure, drop a little emoji flag. Let me know that you're locked in, where you're locked in from. But yeah, that's another episode in the bag, guys. I'll see you next time for another episode of Drawing and Exploring.